Good evening, YouTube. Once again, it's four middle-aged dudes just bullshitting about nothing. This is the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
Theory 515.
We're going to continue on with the Geek Week in Review. Interesting stuff. We covered a little bit of video game stuff before. There was kind of rumors and conjecture as far as Nintendo goes. Now we're going to cover the downside of video games. Some of the stuff that wasn't so happy.
The NX wasn't a downside?
What was that?
I said the NX wasn't a downside.
No, the fact that they were delaying Zelda, that was the downside, okay? But basically, you know, with the game industry being the way that it is, we wish everybody could succeed, but not everybody keeps their doors open. One of the, I want to say one of the more highly regarded studios out there, Lionhead Studios, made it official. I know that Microsoft started canceling all of their projects, but they made it official a few days ago, and they informed everybody that they would indeed not be pursuing developing any further projects, and that they were going to be closing down the studio. Thoughts all around, gentlemen?
Yeah. It's never a good news when a studio shuts down. With that being said, I don't know what the fuck Microsoft is thinking. It's obvious not good when a studio closes. Yeah. I mean, it's a hard thing, and I mean, we'll go into the particulars of Lionhead in a little bit. And any thoughts, theory or theme?
From what I understand, Lionhead itself was a decent company. You know what I mean? I know they had a lot of their PC releases. None of them I actually had the opportunity to play. As far as consoles go, I did play Fables. I have 1, 2, and 3. I'm a little ashamed to even say that I have 3, but I have it. Okay. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Xbox can't afford to be closing down companies like this. They can't. You know what I mean? Rather than shutting it down and repurposing or whatever it is they're planning on doing, why not just give Lionhead a new IP to run? You know what I mean? I mean, the idea
is Microsoft and 343, they only make Halo.
Yeah.
That's why. Look, didn't mean to cut you off there, Theory, but this is very, very fucking sad. When Fable Legends was announced last year, that was one of the big things that people were actually looking forward to. Mm-hmm. Even though a lot of people were iffy about it, it was still a first-party title. And then the cancellation came, and everybody was like, "Uh-oh, this is in trouble here." So now with Atlus, with Lionhead just going, and yeah, that's just. What next?
I mean, the thing that I think the worst part about the canceling of Fable Legends was the fact that Lionhead was pretty much at the point where they're like, well, could we actually get this in somebody else's hand, another publisher's hand, to go ahead and send it out? I think they're at a really hard point where it was like, no, we don't even have the money to shop it around to anybody else. And you know, the thing about Microsoft is that they don't publish any of their own games, and Lionhead was a big part of Microsoft Game Studios. Mm-hmm. And as we know, as we've seen over the last few years, the games actually coming out of Microsoft Game Studios are pretty much reduced to nothing over the last few years, which is a shame. Yeah, it's a shame. You know, the thing with Lionhead Studios is that it was founded by Peter Molyneaux after he left Electronic Arts. This was after Electronic Arts had purchased Bullfrog Studios. And what happened was that basically they went ahead, they let Bullfrog Studios go out of their way and publish a crap load of games. Let me see here. I'll go through the list here. Basically, Populous, Syndicate, Theme Park, and Dungeon Keeper was their last game that they put out. Peter Molyneaux was actually one of the
he became one of the executive guys at EA. And after he decided to leave was when EA decided to go ahead and dissolve Bullfrog Studios. He went on to create Lionhead, where he went on to go ahead and create more games for the PC, mostly Black and White, Godus, let's see here, and also the other one, which was really big on PC, which actually was probably the closest game that the game that closest came to his original vision was the movies. Once that happened, Xbox 360 came out. That's when Lionhead was purchased by Microsoft Game Studios to basically just work on Fable and work on Fable only. As successful as Fable is, and as received as it wasn't the multi-million selling title that Microsoft had hoped that the series would be, which is kind of the reason why it kind of led up to them not being able to do that. And the funny thing about if you're familiar with the history of Peter Molyneaux, it's not fully Microsoft's fault. Peter Molyneaux has each and every one of his games that he puts out. You are basically God of whatever happens. All right, you are playing God in almost all of the games that he puts out, or you influence the game as much where everything that you do influences a part of the game. And a lot of the games that he's put out, he'll promise you the moon and the stars, and in the end, maybe give you something that resembles what he originally promised. Like I know the movies that was in development for almost 4 or 5 years before it finally came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when it finally came out, part of the reason why it finally came out was because Activision was like, we are not giving you any more money.
It was addictive as hell too.
What's that?
It was addictive as hell.
Oh yeah, it was a great title. It was a great title. And like I said, it's probably his only title that came close to his original vision of the game, especially after they released the expansion where they gave you the ability to sit there and edit from a fully controlled 3D roaming camera and all of that. You know, it came really, really close. But with Black and White, Godus, and everything else where, hey, you can sit there, shape the land, shape the people, shape your animals to do whatever you do, came close, but not quite ever reaching his total vision for any game. So, yeah, pretty sad. Any other thoughts on the game studio closure, guys?
Nope. Saw it coming.
Unfortunately, a lot of people did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to go this way, but with them closing down company after company after company and canceling Fable, it was like, yeah, this is where it's going.
Oh no, they wouldn't do that. It's one of their first-party developers, and one of their major first-party titles is a part of this. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't close it down.
Yeah. Heard that one a billion times.
And they didn't look at Microsoft's history as far as closing down certain studios that belong to them.
Yeah.
And I just hate to see any company shut down because actually that's less games that we get to use. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the major blow that it is to us.
It's an all-around bad situation. It wasn't like Lionhead wasn't capable of making good games. You know,
Right.
It's happened before.
I think the thing with Lionhead, especially under the leadership of Peter Molyneaux, is that if he scaled back his vision just a little bit, and if he was able to scale his vision back, concentrate on a more focused experience, and polish that up, he probably would have ended up with a lot more, not only critically acclaimed games, but also commercially acclaimed games. Because a lot of the games that Peter Molyneaux put out under Lionhead Studios were, critics were, oh, this is great, but when it actually ended up in front of the players, unless you were willing to go ahead and invest that time in slog through that learning curve in order to get to the point where they're actually doing everything that was intended for you to do in the game. It really was. They weren't always the most, user-friendly games.
No, they were not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I never got around to playing Black and White, and I really wanted to. I'll probably get around to it eventually. But I remember at one point in time, everybody was playing The Sims, and I'm sitting at home playing the movies, and it took me a long time to get it to do what I needed it to do. Like, I probably started 4 or 5 times before I was like, all right,
yeah,
I can do this now.
Yep. It's like, otherwise your actors are getting too fucking drunk or things are catching on fire in your fucking studio before you even put out a hit movie.
Yeah.
I fucked around with that game too.
Yeah.
All right. Any more thoughts on the passing of Lionhead Studios? The passing. I'm talking like somebody died. Well, a studio died.
Well, technically,
certain games died.
Yeah.
The potential for certain games have died.
Yeah.
What is up with companies? I don't understand what's happening with gaming nowadays, as far as gaming companies closing down and everything is just being against gaming and gamers now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole wave of shit.
It's really frustrating, actually. Like, I mean, because I think about it, and I go back and I look at some of my older games that I have 2, 3, 4 generations ago.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't that big, you know what I mean? And they were fun, Now every game got to have this $1 million budget, $1.5 million budget, and then they end up closing down because they didn't make the return on it because they made the game look pretty, but it was shit to play.
Yeah, the one thing that kind of kills me is that when you sit there and you consider that there are AAA titles out there where they're like, hey, we got to sell 6.5 million of these things to break even. Wait, what? Really? I mean,
break even.
That's just sad to think about. Continuing on with the bad news. Lionhead Studios closing this week wasn't the only bad news that was released out earlier this week on Tuesday. It was announced that Nippon Ichi Systems would be splitting. They would be ending their partnership with Atlus, and they were no longer going to be publishing and distributing games for them in North America and in Europe. Thoughts and initial impressions on that, guys?
I'm not happy with that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, but as an alternative, do we have another way of getting any Atlus games here?
Well, here's the thing. Atlus, as you know, back in 2013, was purchased by Sega. Don't get all excited all at once. I know what you're thinking. All right. And the part of the reason why Atlus went ahead and Nippon Ichi ended their partnership with Atlus was the fact that they cited that ever since the purchase of Atlus by Sega, that it's made continuing their partnership very, very difficult. And the problem is that I was hoping that Sega was gonna keep Atlus, allow Atlus the type of independence that they had operated under previously, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Thoughts, guys?
I just was doing it while you were doing that. That's my thoughts basically on that. It's just ridiculous. Damn. It's all right. It's funny because it's not like Atlus put out some very bad shit.
No, actually, majority of their stuff is really, really good.
Atlus has been at least consistent.
Yeah.
Good.
Most people has at least like maybe 2 or 3 Atlus games in their library somewhere. And you can't pick those out and be like, this is shit. No, you played them, you enjoyed them. I mean, just not just even on console, but even on portable.
Well, the funny thing about that is that if you're a JRPG fan, I think bar none, Atlus has probably put out consistently put out the best JRPGs on portable and console over the last 10 fucking years. Yeah, I'm gonna say even better than Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I mean, one of the better JRPGs out there is Radiant Historia for the DS. It wasn't put out in. Oh, yeah, yeah, that also. Yep, that also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they put out. The thing about Atlus is that they put out the niche games that you're not going to find anywhere else. All right, and that's part of the reason why they were partnered up with Nippon Ichi. It was because they were putting out very niche, completely Japanese titles, and they were bringing it out to the West. Now with their partnership dissolved, it's going to be hard to see whether or not Atlus is going to be able to distribute the games that they're planning to distribute, and it's really hard to think about when you consider that Persona 5 has been announced and it's already been delayed twice. So it was supposed to show up the end of this year during the holidays, and now they have like a to be determined fucking release date for it now. So
it's funny how so many of the Japanese are just saying fuck it, and they don't want to have anything to do with here in any way, shape, or form. And by that, that's a very big problem, because most of the good shit that comes from there and that's translated or their developers get treated like shit. Konami, yeah, I'm looking at you. It's a big fucking problem to gaming. You don't just cut off. You don't just end agreements like that. If you have something or someone that's very important to gaming, then please let that shit continue, because that's the way gaming fucking thrives. That's one of the ways that gaming fucking thrives. It's just, I don't know. Gray Mouse, do you have anything to add? No?
I'm probably one of the, I don't know, out of our group, I think I'm probably the one that loves JRPGs the most. So it's other than maybe Reverend, but it sucks because, you know, already, you know, it's tough to have to bring localize is the word I'm looking for, JRPGs in to the United States or to the West in the first place. It's already tough as it is. Now, when you're going to dissolve your relationship with the only company that I consider as a JRPG, you know, it's man, because majority of my games are from Atlus. I could say probably about 25 to 30 titles from Atlus, just off the top of my head that I have. And to see that be dissolved, it's really a sad day in gaming, you know, especially for a JRPG fan. I just don't know what to say, man. Hopefully that Atlus can figure out how to distribute to the West. I'm sure they will. But for Atlus, though, I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. With Atlus not having a way to get stuff here, and if Sega does decide to take over and help them publish and whatnot, will the games themselves still be worth getting?
Well, here's a problem with that. Okay, it's the fact that they're going to have to depend on Sega to make those
exactly.
Okay, and
that in itself is a problem.
Yeah, these are the same motherfuckers who refuse to release Phantasy Star 2 online here in the West. All right. It's completely fine for everybody in Southeast Asia to have it. But they refuse to bring it out to the West.
Oh yeah, they'll make a Sonic game for the fucking Kinect.
Oh yeah.
Sega will do that shit.
Yeah.
But for the shit that motherfuckers really want to play and really want to be a part of, no.
And I don't know if it's because they're concerned with, like, I don't know, pachinko machines.
Oh no.
But yeah, Sega has not shown the best
track record.
Yeah, the best track record when it comes to bringing out those purely Japanese titles that you're not going to see anywhere else. And that's exactly what Atlus specializes in. I mean, I'd be really sad if I wouldn't have had like a fully localized, playable fucking version of Dragon's Crown. No, shit. That's one of the few games I bought brand new at launch. Over the last few years.
Yeah, I picked mine up new too.
Yeah,
actually, I said I picked mine up new too. Actually,
yeah. I mean,
that's something I do all the time, but damn it, it was worth it.
Yeah. I mean, Izuna, the unemployed ninja, fucking masterful. Shit, I'm looking at my shelves right now. All the Etrian Odysseys and all the Persona games.
Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't Trauma Center by them as well?
Yes, it was. Yep. Trauma Center. Yep. Boom. Yep. Exactly. Great fucking games.
Fuck. Oh, that's fucking sad.
Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how Sega goes ahead and handles it. I know that
are they going to handle it?
Well, considering that they own Atlus, they're going to have to make a call one way or another on what's going on with that. Because they own the development company, so they have to go ahead and make a call on it.
Well, the thing is, are JRPGs that popular in the U.S.? Is there enough people?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I think so.
No, there's still enough people who sit there and buy them.
There are.
Because the thing is that JRPGs, generally speaking, they've really found their foothold and their niche on the handheld console, the handheld portion of the market, and games that are out there for the 3DS, pretty much almost all of them do pretty well. I mean, I'm just really hoping that they decide to put out another 3D Dot Heroes. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Any other thoughts on it, gentlemen?
Nope.
All righty. With that, we're going to wrap up bad gaming news this week. Studios closing, distribution arms disappearing, partnerships dissolving, and somehow Sega is being left with big decisions again. I don't see how that's...
Shame.
I don't see the upside to this. All right. With that, that's going to be the end of our video game news for this week. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
35 with 5.
Thank you for watching, folks. If you're so kind, hit the subscribe button. Hit like. Give us your comments. Give us your thoughts on this. We're sure to respond back, and if we see anything else happen, we're always going to make a video on it. Go ahead and close this out, Theme.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, or lack thereof, closing credits.